Go back to our lead story about Bafana, that SAFA wanting, of course, that rematch with Ghana after that World Cup qualifier that took place on Sunday, with Danny Jordaan, the president of SAFA, accusing football referee Maguette Ndiaye of manipulating the match in Ghana's favour. Mr. Jordaan, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. We lost you there a short while ago. Now that FIFA has said they will look into this whole issue, what should we expect to be the next steps in this process now that FIFA has acknowledged the official complaint laid by SAFA?
Well, what we have to do is to show FIFA that, in our view, there was a manipulation of the result of the match. And it means that the referee, by doing one, applying the laws of the game in such a way that it was detrimental to one side and beneficial to the other team. Or secondly, not to apply the laws when he should have applied the laws. Now, we've made an analysis of all the wrong decisions or incorrect decisions that the referee made during the course of the match. And in terms of decisions that went against Bafana, was 90.9% of the wrong decisions that he took was against Bafana. And only 3% of the wrong decisions that the referee took was against Ghana. So normally if a referee makes a mistake, you don't expect that 90% of those mistakes will be detrimental to one team on the field. And this is what we've pointed out. So for us, it was not the penalty, it was the performance of the referee. And we now have evidence that this referee consists to the detriment of Bafana, or he has failed to take decisions. Again, in that regard, where he failed to take decisions, again, Bafana was at the receiving end. So it's clear that there was bias on the side.
Yeah, do you think this bias was intentional, or do you think there's something bigger going on here? What's your sense?
If you look at the match, in the first half, 89% of the wrong decisions was to the detriment of Bafana. The wrong decisions. In the second half, and you must know now, Ghana was leading 1-0. In the second half, that percentage dropped significantly, where only 5 decisions went against Bafana. But in the last 15 minutes, more wrong decisions were taken to the detriment of Bafana. So you then ask the question, how is it possible that the referee in the first half can have so many incorrect decisions in one half and hardly any incorrect decisions in the second half, but towards the end of the match, that pattern reoccurs? So we say there is a pattern of bias that we proved, I think, by our analysis of the match. And if that is the case, then we have proved that there was a manipulation of the outcome of the match. And manipulation simply means that the referee, either lawfully, unlawfully, by applying or not applying the laws of the game, influence the result of the game.
So is that where you believe, SAFA, there's unfairness as well? Because, I mean, fair play is one of the pillars of the game as promoted by FIFA. Or do you think that the manipulation, the alleged manipulation, was planned?
We think that that is something that we placed before FIFA and meditated, and whether it was planned. If you now go to the to the match, then you will see what they are saying, that Ghana is guaranteed at least one penalty, maybe they'll get two. The profile of the match, where the profile was such that many of them said it's by any means possible Ghana must win, because Ghana didn't go to the World Cup in 2018. They cannot afford to miss the World Cup again. So they must use whatever methods possible to win this match. And now they were 3 points behind Bafana. And we think that FIFA must investigate. They do have the capacity, and they must investigate the matter. And we say that we
how long will that take? Yeah. How long will that take, Mr. Jordaan? Because I think the draw for the next round of the African World Cup qualifiers has been done and dates have been set. How long do you think this investigation will take?
Well, it shouldn't take long. Remember what happened to us when we played against Senegal and we won. And then it was determined, to which we agreed, that the referee did not apply his mind when he gave a penalty to South Africa. And within 2 weeks, FIFA ordered a replay of that match. So FIFA has all the evidence. They have an agreement with a company called Sports Radar. Sports Radar makes an analysis of each and every match of FIFA. So they should have the analysis. But in addition to that, we're sending them our own analysis, which shows that there is a 90% incorrect decisions against Bafana. What is acceptable? Maybe 40%, maybe 50-50, maybe even 60-40, but 90% to 9% in favor of one team is not acceptable.
Yeah, just another angle to this. Could it be a factor? I want to bring it up now. The president of CAF is a South African, Mr. Patrice Motsepe, highly respected. I mean, even at the levels of FIFA. You yourself, as president of SAFA, you're very highly regarded in the circles of FIFA, and some may argue a powerful individual in the world of football, having brought the FIFA World Cup successfully to South Africa in 2010. Will there be some political kind of pressure here that Ghana might feel against it, or are you going to limit all your engagements on this matter, on that technical report of that point of 90.9% decisions were biased against Bafana in the game, and nothing else will matter? No, absolutely. You know, Patrice Motsepe is the president of CAF, and therefore his concern is both for Ghana and for South Africa. So we would not expect him to intervene on behalf of one country at the expense of another. So our position is it's not a political matter. We do not want the president of CAF to be even close to. We have not even briefed him. We're not sending documents to him. We are clear. He must not get involved. He is the president of every one of the 54 countries of Africa. And that's the position. So we're submitting our documents, even at the level of FIFA. We presented. In spite of what you're saying, we had a replay against Senegal. And when they approached us and we said, look, we can see this is a dodgy penalty. And we don't want to go to a World Cup when there are question marks on how we got there and how we qualified. And therefore, if it's a choice between fairness, honesty, and integrity, and we do not qualify for the World Cup, so be it. In this case, we are clear. If you listen to the players, they broke these players. And that is not something... Okay. These are young players. They couldn't speak the way they... And the reason for their tears, they say, it's because of the injustice. They said, in our country, we know what it means to suffer injustice. And now that is the feeling that we had
when we were on that field against Ghana. So we want FIFA to address it.
Okay, just quickly, and the line tends to go here and there, but I really need to ask this.
Yeah.
After that Senegal game that you spoke about, I think the referee in that matter some years ago was then disqualified and not being able to referee again. That's number one. In this case, you are asking for a rematch. You're asking for a replay and nothing else. You're not asking for action against the referee himself. Mr. Jordaan? What a pity. That's a real pity. We can't proceed with it. Are you there, Mr. Jordaan? Are you there?
Yes. No, I heard your question. No, we're asking for FIFA to apply its own code of discipline. And it's very clear that if a referee is found guilty of match manipulation, that referee must be suspended for 5 years. So we don't have to add things. FIFA must look at its own disciplinary code and apply it.
So if they do find against him, there'll be consequences for him according to FIFA's own referees' code of conduct. Okay. Finally, would SAFA rather, have a preference about, if you are successful, where this rematch must take place?
We're asking for a neutral country. We're asking for neutral referees. You see, Africa has 5 zones. And if 2 teams come from West Africa, we would not want the referee also to come from West Africa, as was the case in this matter. The referee can come from North Africa, East Africa, Central Africa. Can't come from Southern Africa because South Africa is in Southern Africa. It can't come from West Africa because the teams come from West Africa.
Okay, so you want a neutral venue, and maybe in the next 2 weeks we will hopefully hear. Meanwhile, how are you, SAFA, motivating the youngsters? Because I mean, they've given it their all up to Sunday. Even on Sunday, I mean, in their group, by Sunday they had won 4 games, drawn 1, no loss at all. In fact, in the first leg they had beaten Ghana.
Yeah. Yes, they had 11 matches unbeaten, including playing against Uganda, playing against Senegal, playing against Zambia, playing against Ghana. They were unbeaten in 11 consecutive matches. And therefore, they were ready. And they spoke today at the press conference and said, we were ready, determined, and we're going to fight Ghana.
So how are you supporting them? How are you supporting them? Now, they are at a low at the moment, as you said. They've given it their all. They feel that injustice was done. How is SAFA going to assist them to pick up their morale? Because from what we can see, they performed very well.
No, we met them at the airport. When they were there, we were with them. They are at the low. They are determined. They are hoping that they'll get the rematch, and the fighting spirit is still strong in them. So I don't think that they are sitting there demoralized. Tebogo Mokoena spoke about, he said, I went to the Under-17 World Cup, Under-20 World Cup. I went to the Olympics, and I wanted to go to the Senior World Cup in Qatar, and we were going to fight to get there. And he said, what that referee did was to kill my ambition, my hopes, and my dreams. And therefore, I want a chance. I want to go to Qatar. So it's all in the hands of FIFA now.
How confident are you going to get a affirmative, a positive response or finding by FIFA?
Well, based on the evidence that we are presenting to FIFA, we think we have an overwhelming case to show that there was substantial, significant bias by this referee, and that bias led to influencing the result, which was unlawful, illegal, and therefore the match should be replayed.
Thank you very much for your time and your patience as well. Mr. Danny Jordaan, he's the president of SAFA, speaking to us here about the controversy surrounding that World Cup qualifier match that took place on Sunday between Ghana and Bafana Bafana in Ghana.